Good morning, everybody. This was released at around 1 o'clock at night, and because I was fighting for my life trying to fall the fuck asleep, I decided to prioritize my mental health and physical health and go to sleep instead of actually getting up and reacting to this. But I will now. So, the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel ban list has been announced, and we have one unlimit, a couple semi-limits, and a bunch of interesting limits and forbiddens. So I would like to begin by starting with this, Knight Assailant. For those who are unaware of what Knight Assailant does, it is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card from way back in the day that is a flip. Target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. This card sent from the hand to the graveyard. Target one flip monster in your graveyard except Knight Assailant. Add that target to your hand. It was Gravekeeper's support back in the day, but it was considered too powerful because it was too generic and it was banned. And it shouldn't have been. I believe it's currently off the TCG and OCG list. It just took time for Master Duel to get with the times. And it's great to see. I very well might end up throwing a single copy in my Shadal deck for a lark just to test it out. Now, at Fire Formation Tanky, further gimps to the Lyralisk and the Tri-Brigade cards. I haven't seen... Those cards haven't necessarily been a threat for a hot minute in Ranked, so I'm supportive of this. Same thing with Skill Drain. Skill Drain, I feel like this card probably should have stayed at 1. But, you know what? There's more. Skill Drain has more outs to it than something a little later on the list. Salamangreat Gazelle at 2. I think this is fine. The Salamangreat cards are a passable control deck for like 2019. The Eldritch cards blow them out of the water. It's not even a contest. I'd probably say the same thing with Altergeist. Multi-Faker. Although I know DZeef is probably over the moon joyed right now, and I know that Shiggy is probably probably happy about the Salamangreat stuff as well. Fusion Destiny at 1. This doesn't necessarily affect me per se because I already played one Fusion Destiny in my deck because I thought 2 was too clunky. So to the people who played 2 of this card and trying to turbo out a DPE as soon as possible. They're probably seething a little bit right now, but honestly, I don't care because, again, that is a perfectly serviceable limit. I think, honestly, unless they hit Verte Anaconda, unless they ban Fusion Destiny, DP is still going to be shit out. But because of an actual ban card on this list, I think that DPE is going to be considered a much less versatile card. Prank Kids Meow Meow at 1. I think this is fine because the Prank Kids cards are kind of fucking nutty, and their ability to cascade off of this one link is really stupid, and I'm supportive of this. One Meow Meow, yes, they only need one Meow Meow to pop off, but I feel like being able to do it multiple times and the level of pop off you get off of it is no bueno, so I'm supportive of this. Pot of Prosperity, this is good. Pot of Prosperity is a great card. It's very useful. It allows you to, unlike Extravagance, which you don't get to pick the 6 cards out of your extra deck, you yeet to the Banish Zone. You actually do get to pick here, which makes it A, a lot more usable, and B, you're excavating cards, so you get to choose what you get to hand instead of just luck of the draw, which is huge. Crossout Designator to 1. In a meta format that is so overwhelmed by Maxine, Viru, fucking Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, what was it called? Impermanence, just all of these, just this slew of just really powerful and frankly overused traps. This kind of being able to just throw one of each of those in your deck and have a crossout designator ready for your opponent. I think hand traps are an important part of the game, and they're a necessary evil at this point, given how fast things have gotten. And I think that while it does gimp rogue level decks, it certainly is. They certainly are important enough to keep things moving. You know, like to keep it so like you're not just sitting there watching your opponent just pull shenanigans. It allows some level of counterplay. Number 75. This was a card that kind of like, you know what, gimping draw power while also denying your opponent effects. I'm supportive of that being banned. I can't remember what. I am pretty sure that in the rank 3 spam decks where this is an issue, there are probably something like Totally Awesome or other things like that are probably more of an issue, but c'est la vie. Destiny Hero Celestial. Alright, so this card I think is more worthy of a ban than something like Fusion Destiny, because while DPE is a fantastic fusion card to go into, the main problem with the DP setup is that you would take once the next turn, your next turn came around after summoning DPE, you would empty your hand would presumably be empty, or you'd empty your hand, and then you'd be able to banish Celestial and the other Destiny hero, usually the 2100 level 6-1, I can't remember its name, that special summons a monster when you draw a monster, which is also a dumbass effect. You banish both of those cards, and you draw 2 cards. It's a free pot of... It's basically a pot of greed, which, you know, as anybody knows who's played this game, is absolutely nutty. So, this card, I think... This being banned, I think, is going to make DPE a little less relevant, but I think there's some other Destiny Hero cards that might be a bit of a problem. We will see. Vanity's Emptiness being banned, Imperial Order, and True King of all Calamities. I'm putting all of these 3 in one bunch because these are floodgates, and they suck. Imperial Order especially, I myself have a significant hate for Imperial Order because it literally gimps my entire deck, because my entire deck is literally made of spells. So, that to me is rough. But True King of all Calamities, I can work around it. If I get like a Super Poly or a Raigeki that after I feigned all the negates, I'm usually fine with that. But like being on, I don't want to play against it though. So having True King gone as well is great. Vanity's Emptiness is also wonderful too. Is it the best special summon prevention tool in the game? Absolutely not. But is it the most generic? Absolutely. So for me, I'm generally happy with this, even if it dies to an MST. Not even MST. If you just use a Raigeki on your opponent, or even a fucking Raigeki break and get rid of one monster, this card goes to the graveyard. But you know, on a fully established board with a bunch of negates versus you having Dickie McGee's X, well, needless to say, I'm happy that more floodgates got banned, because while floodgates I think are important for control, more control style builds, I think that they are deeply unfun for both people playing, and I'm happy to see them go. But that's just my personal take on it. So that's the ban list. The ban list will be going into effect August 31st. So that is in about 8 days from now, and I'm looking forward to see it. I am probably not going to touch Master Duel ahead of time. I'll maybe go on there and edit some of my decks, because I run DPE in a couple decks, because it's because especially in my shit all deck, because it is a fusion spam deck, and I mean it's a great fusion that takes up 3 slots in my main deck and 1 in my extra. So love to see it. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so very much for taking time out of your day to watch this little update. I know that there are probably bigger YouTubers that are that you'd probably watch to get all this, but I appreciate you picking my video. It means a lot. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Time has no meaning. I work from home. But I appreciate you. I appreciate the people you see on screen right now, including Reed Savage, Mike Nicely, PT Sean, Oni, Top Hatter, American Autopsy, Anthony J. Lopez, and the love of my life, Metafabuzi. These are my wonderful patrons. They support the show in very small ways, for as little as $1 a month. Please consider joining them, but if you don't have to, because you made it to the end of this video, and that makes you the best fucking person of them all. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I'm going to let you go with the illustrious beats of the great Villainous Styles.